A very warm welcome to you wherever it is you're listening from. This is another episode of Financial Literacy Conversations on FILIT podcast with me, Brian Tino. You can call me Branji. Today we are talking about an interesting topic on how you can get finances, save up, and still be paid dividends. Yes, we are talking about Saccos. But there's an interesting phenomenon in this generation of ours. People do not invest or want to put their money in Saccos. Why is that happening? To delve deeper into this with me is a gentleman you all know from online. He is huge on TikTok. This gentleman has almost 250,000 followers on TikTok and so many others on Instagram. And he also has built quite a community on Facebook. Ladies and gentlemen, you have seen him on your feed. This is Llewellyn Ouya. Did I pronounce it right?
Yeah.
Jina yutulemea pale mtandao.
Kama uko na TikTok account, nataka kukupea njia rahisi unaweza tumia kumake dough. Kuna kitu inaitwa TikTok series. Ukienda kwa profile yangu hapo utaona place imeandikwa series. Ukiklik series, utaona hapo nimeweka series moja ya 7 business ideas. You can start with 100k. Na hiyo series nauza $5 ama 700 bob. So what happens, ukinunua hiyo series, watch hizo videos, TikTok inachukua so mbili, mina get 500. So you can price your series at $1, $2, $5 according to how you see its value. Na kama let's say unadu content ya kupika, unaweza do series ya 10 different ways to cook chapati ama how to cook the best pilau. Kituka hiyo, you can do some recipe videos, alafu you put them as a series, alafu watu wakiwatch, you make money. So that's a very nice way of making money on TikTok.
Karibu sana baba.
Asante.
Introduce yourself. Tell us what you do.
I'm Llewellyn Ouya. I create content on TikTok and other platforms. I mostly do content that is business based.
Yeah.
And I talk about personal finance, investing, debt management, and all that, and current trends. And I'm also a medical student.
Okay.
And a business consultant. Okay, I was working as an auditor, and then I quit my first job. Then I got another job. Then I was fired after some time, and I went into business. I did business for a while, and then I decided to do medicine so that I can expand my opportunities, and so that I can be able to be helpful in society and do something I've always wanted to do.
Okay, good stuff. Oh yeah, our generation, I'm talking about guys who are under 30.
Yeah.
Saizi, we do not really take Saccos seriously. Otonona Saccos are a thing of the old generation.
Yeah.
Yet Saccos have quite an advantage. Why is that so? Is it because of the knowledge gap that exists?
Yeah, there's a big gap. Many people don't know anything about Saccos. Many people just know that kuna Sacco ya walimu, ya polisi.
Yeah.
Some don't think that they qualify to be members of Saccos. And most people actually join Saccos by chance. Because let's say you are a lawyer and you start practicing, because everyone, all your colleagues will be
Sharia Sacco.
Yeah, or the LSK Sacco.
Yeah.
So you'll find yourself there.
Yeah.
But most people don't know why they're there. If you're a police, automatically you'll be in police Sacco. If you're a prisons guy, you'll be in Magereza Sacco.
Yeah.
But
if you're a journalist like me, you would be Nation Sacco.
Yeah. So you see, it's by chance.
Yeah.
So if such a person was working in a company that doesn't have a Sacco, they wouldn't be in a Sacco. So we need to put the information out there that we have so many Saccos that are registered and that someone can join, either in your profession, where you work, or as an individual. Even people in business can join Saccos, even students.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Individually. All right. So, what are some of the advantages of getting into a Sacco, and why you would encourage somebody to put their money into a Sacco?
Okay, so the first thing is you can use a Sacco as a bank for transactions.
Okay.
So you can have a current account in the Sacco.
Okay.
Mostly they call it the front office.
Okay.
Then you can use a Sacco now for the deposits. That is long-term saving that will give you interest every year, normally 10 to 14% depending on the Sacco. And that can be used to give you loans.
Okay.
So most Saccos can give you up to 3 times your savings. Some can even give you up to 4 times your savings, as long as you have guarantors. If you don't have guarantors, you can self-guarantee yourself in most Saccos. So let's say you have 1 million shillings in the Sacco, you can take a loan of 900,000 and you guarantee yourself. And people ask, why take a loan of 900,000 and you only have 1 million?
Yeah.
So I'll tell you why. Because when you take this 900,000, you're given at a cheap rate. And you're going to be repaying it every month, pole pole, for a period of time. You still have your 1 million that is still earning you interest.
Thank you.
Yeah. And you're still using this money and you're repaying.
And growing and repaying.
Yeah, so you're just multiplying your wealth. And you're using the Saccos money to do your other things.
Yeah.
Yeah, and another advantage of Saccos is you get dividends every year from the shares that you have. Then we have some deals that come with Saccos. For example, my Sacco, I'm in Kenya Police Sacco.
Okay.
They go buy huge pieces of land.
Yeah.
They subdivide to sell. And of course, they give members first priority. So you can even take a piece of land and then you pay a down payment and you agree how much you're going to clear the balance in installments.
So that's the advantage of asset financing.
Yeah.
It's advantageous if you in a Sacco.
Yeah.
And then I think also the beauty of that is Saccos, they know how to do their due diligence so that if it's a piece of land, you're not duped or
At
anything
least
of the
you're
sort.
sure.
Yeah, you're sure that you're putting your money in the right place.
Yeah.
We're moving too fast, pole pole. So now... So now let's go back to deposits. Because, for example, if you are in Nation Sacco, you understand that there are certain Saccos that have a ceiling on share capital.
Yeah.
And then there are other Saccos that don't have a limit on that. And you earn interest both ways, by the way. So you earn on share capital and share deposits. Talk to us about that.
Okay, so for the shares, so shares basically is the piece of the company that you own.
Yeah.
So each company has 100% ownership, and you can have, let's say we have a company, you can have 50 and I have 50%. So that's the shares. So when you buy shares into a Sacco, you are buying ownership.
Yeah.
You're given a piece according to how much you're buying. So like for my Sacco, the minimum is 50,000 that you're supposed to buy. But I always tell people, it's not a must you buy immediately the whole amount. They give you a period of time.
There's some flexibility in payment of that share capital.
So if you have 50,000 and you're given dividend of 17%, that will be on the shares. Then now for the deposits, now like my Sacco for deposits, it doesn't have a ceiling. And for that, you get around 11% interest every year.
Yeah.
So what happens is they calculate the interest on the deposits, shares on the capital, and then they merge it, and that's what we are given as dividends. But it's a combination of dividends on shares and interest on deposits. And then now you're given that after the AGM. Like for my Sacco, it's usually in February. So every year you're given that amount. And for some Saccos like mine, you can do whatever you want with that money. You can take it and do something, or you can reinvest in the Sacco. Yeah.
Amazing. Let's go to ease of access of financing. And you spoke about something very important, which is self-guaranteeing. But let's talk about if you do not have the capacity to self-guarantee fully to the amount of money that you're borrowing.
Yeah.
How or why is it important to join a Sacco with people you know?
Yeah, it's very important. And you see now for the people who join the professional Saccos, like yours and Llewellyn, those ones, at least you have people you are with in school who are journalists.
Yeah.
You make friends here who are journalists, and you're in the same circle. So it's easy for you to get guarantors.
Guarantors, yeah.
But now for the people who are joining Saccos individually, one of the things you need to consider is, do I have some people I can get into that Sacco with? Because like for me, we joined Police Sacco with my brother, and ever since I've been recruiting people into the Sacco.
Yeah.
So that when someone needs a loan, at least we can guarantee
each other.
Yeah, so you can join with some people. The people, you know, when it comes to saving and investing, you have people who you know. There are some of your friends, you know, we can talk about this with them. We can guarantee each other. And there are some friends, you know, they won't be interested in such a thing. Same to family members. You can have, maybe your sister is not interested in such a thing, but you have a cousin that you know can be interested in such a thing. So you recruit people so that you are in the same circle, and it will be easy for you to get guarantors.
Okay, there you go, the consumer of this content. Umesikia usiingie Sacco peke yako. Ingia na mbogi, so that you also encourage each other to keep saving and all that. And that will also rid a lot of people of this thing of table banking or of chama ya kuzungusha tu pesa. So you can put your money somewhere and it keeps accruing interest as time goes by. So far we've talked about very good things about Saccos, and I hope you're not leaving anyone out. Any other advantage so far?
There is.
Go ahead.
Like my Sacco has a benevolent fund.
Very important. Yeah, very, very important. Tell me about it.
Yeah, so there's this scheme whereby if someone dies in service, your kids can be paid for school fees in high school and the first 2 years in university. So as long as they get above 315 KCP, their high school will be sorted. All the fees.
So there's a condition.
Yeah, there's a condition.
Lazima wasome.
Yeah, lazima mtoto asome.
Okay.
Yeah, but 350 is manageable. Yeah, so all the fees, trips, uniform, books, pocket money, everything. Yeah.
I see. That's very important. And also benevolent. I think we also have benevolent this side in Nation Sacco, where we you contribute a very nominal amount, 100 shillings, 100 or 200 shillings per month. And so if your immediate family member, let's say your dad or your mom or your sister, passes on, and God forbid, we don't hope that any one of them goes. But of course, we know at some point that is going to happen. There's some amount of money that you're given, which takes care of the benevolent. It's also a benevolent fund. So yeah, that's another thing. And how that helps is sometimes uko kwa kona manze. And you also don't want to start bothering people with nichangie this and that. So yeah, I hear you on that one. But that's a very interesting product. Go ahead.
Yeah, and there's also like, when you die as a member of the Sacco, your deposits and your shares, what you had in the Sacco, I think they give it twice or thrice. Yeah, they do like times 2 or 3.
Yeah.
And then now that's given to your next of kin. Yeah, or your family.
Hapo ndo kuna kizungumkuti. Hapo kwa next of kin. So is it good to inform somebody that umeweka next of kin?
Yeah. Yeah, because the person you're putting next of kin obviously is someone you can trust. Okay. So
yeah. I hear you. I want to leave that at that because it gets very controversial at some point. You had a point. You have a point on the same.
Yeah, on that, like, you know, shida inakuanga like when you just put anyone.
Yeah,
but we have people, even if maybe you don't trust your wife, you can put your brother.
You're ready to getting into the regions that I didn't want to get into.
People do that. Or you put your dad or your mom. You saw the footballer who put his mom Hakimi,
so, Ashraf Hakimi.
So kila mtu na style yake.
Wewe style yako ni gani, ama hiyo tukuachie siri yako?
My bro always.
Okay, good stuff. So why do you feel safe handling it with your bro?
Yeah, because we are open with each other. We do investments pamoja, kila kitu. Yeah, I can count on him anytime. He can count on me.
Amazing. And that's very good to have. So what are some of the downsides of using a Sacco as an investment or as a savings scheme?
Okay, so some disadvantages. Ya kwanza, when you want your money, it can take some time to get. So, deposits, you can't withdraw. So the only way you can get your deposits is if you leave the Sacco. And as for shares, you can't get them back. So the only way you can get that money is if you sell them to someone else in the Sacco. So those are the challenges. When you want to leave, it can take a period of time. You have to do the forms and all that. It can take even 3 months maybe. Yeah, so that's the challenge. It's not something that maybe you have 1 million as deposits in the Sacco, then you get an emergency of 500,000 and you're like, yes, yangu. No, it doesn't work like that. So that is like a long-term investment.
Yeah, and I've seen that a lot with some of the Saccos, because if your account goes inactive, they can't tell you, sasa toka kwenda ama enda. They just tell you, hey, please come and reactivate your account, nini, so that you continue. And I think it's something that happens in the financial sector a lot.
Yeah.
Even when your account is inactive and all that. Anyway, so now we have talked about all these good things and the advantages of joining a Sacco, which, of course, a lot of young people out there need to know about. Once again, your age mates under 30. Our age mates rather under 30 guys, people don't pay too much attention to these things. I was reading some financial report somewhere, and it was categorizing the saving habits of Gen Z, millennials, the baby boomers, and that other generation that was ahead. I can't remember the name. They were saying that Gen Zs are more of short-term saving guys. I need an iPhone in 2 months. I start saving, let's say, 50K or 100K by monthly. Like that's like twice a month or something of the sort. And then once that goal is achieved, boom, unafunga, we move to the next.
Yeah.
But as you say it, look, we ignore the fact that sometimes maybe in the future we may be parents. I mean, vitus do happen. That's another different conversation.
Yeah.
Exactly. You will be a parent at some point. And this goes out to the Gen Zs, to fellow Gen Zs. You will be a parent at some point. Things may happen and your child may need to go to school. And I'm seeing Saccos coming up with a lot of products today of school fees, nini, emergency funds here and there. And saizo ndio unaambianga watu tuma 2K urgently.
Yeah.
So how do we get them to plan and join more and more Saccos?
Yeah, so I do videos about it, and sometimes I get negative comments from very young people. And I'm like, you don't know what you're talking about, because life changes.
Yeah.
And I've seen people get comfortable.
Yeah.
And your life can change just
in a snap
because someone woke up with a bad mood and decided to fire you, you see?
Yeah.
So the important thing is to realize that the 12% annually for Saccos deposit, it's not little money. I do some of those calculations and some people are like, hii pesa ni kidogo, hii itawai kwa mingi lini, but they don't realize
it's compounding.
So I was just giving guys an example, like, let's say you have 200,000 right now. You put it in a Sacco. You get 12% for the year. That's 24,000.
24,000, yeah.
And let's say you are putting in 3,000 per month.
Yeah.
For the year, that's 36,000. So in that 1 year, you're going to have accumulated 24,000 as interest and 36,000 as your monthly deposits.
Thank you.
That's 60,000. So for the second year, you're going to have 260,000. Then you do another 12%.
Another 12%
of 260,000.
Yeah.
Unaona? Then now you add 36,000 for that whole year.
For that whole year.
So if you do that for like 10 years, and 10 years is not a long time.
10 years is not a long time.
Because let's say you are 25.
Yeah.
You do that for 10 years,
you'll be 35. Yeah.
Maybe you are getting your kids.
Yeah, your firstborn is coming. Nini.
You do that another 10 years. Now your kid is middle primary up.
Primary there about, yeah.
Another 10 years. Your kid is going to campus. Yeah. You have done that for 30 years. The amount of dividend you are going to be getting.
can even be enough to educate them.
You can even get like $500,000 in dividends for 1 year.
Look at that.
And you'll still have your salary. Of course, it will have increased because now you have grown career-wise. If you are a businessman, you'll be playing at a different league.
Level,
And I always tell people, don't just do the maths that, okay, I can only afford 2,000 per month. And if I try to calculate pesa si mingi, no. Sometimes you get some trips, you get per diems.
Exactly,
That money, ukiget kama nika 100K, job bonus ama per diem,
a small windfall.
Just take like kama 30,000 rusha huko. You see, so instead of 36,000 for that year, now you have like 66,000, and then now you add the interest, then that money can multiply very fast. And you're saying very important things that no money is small. Pesa ni pesa, manze. Pesa ni pesa.
Na ita grow.
Mama mboga, for you to do 3,000 a month, you just have to do 100 bob per day. You commit yourself to do that.
And the good thing is with that kind of business, I like it that you've also taken it to the informal sector, A lot of Saccos nowadays that are coming up are also including the informal sector a lot. Talk to us about that, because they also need to be included. You started with, kama we ni lawyer, uko kwa sheria Sacco, kama mi ni journalist hivi, niko kwa Nation Sacco and so many others. Talk to me about including the informal sector, watu wa boda boda, mama mboga, the plumbers and all these people.
Those guys have money. Those guys, the ones that are doing the real hands-on jobs, those guys wakona do.
Umesema no cap.
I'm doing a project right now. I'm setting up a business for a client, and the quotations those guys give, the electricians, the guys who do the partitioning for the office, the branding guys, the plumbers, those quotations, that's a lot of money. And someone is working on like 4 or 5 projects simultaneously. Those guys are making a lot of money, but most of them don't have an idea about these Saccos because they believe isn't if it was our to our office.
So they've not been reached.
So the little guys we have, like motorbikes who have wamechanuliwa na wakaingia Saccos, you can see they are doing big things.
They're doing big things. I think I saw some of them up here in Mount Kenya building, I think, rentals. And those guys,
mama mbogas.
Nani mama mbogas too. It's not like they have a day a job they go to na vitu kama hizo. Back in campus, I was just thinking hypothetically. Back in campus, I nilisoma Moi. So during time yenye tuko shule, mama mboga walikuwa nauza sana. So I would sit down and calculate, let's say this mama sells, let's say mboga ya 10 bob, because again we were back in campus broke and just coming up. So ameuza like mboga yake ya 10 bob hapo nini na vitungu zake na nyanya. You are definitely going to spend about an average of 30 shillings in a day. Let's say there's a day uko sawa uongeze na avocado ama kamayai. This mama can borrow from Tala or from these mobile apps and go and get their supplies, and come back with the supply jioni amewauzia. If maybe she needs just say 2,000 shillings to get her product, her supply for that day, and remember that's Moi is in the country. It's not like Nairobi University and these others. Moi University is in Eldoret in country. Okay, wacha nicheke zungu mingi ushago. So kupata huko vitu kama nyanya vitungu are affordable and more cheaper. And you find I just did my calculation and I was like, wait a minute, these guys have some good float. How are gonna float, my friend? So informal sector is very important to include.
And we also have other sectors which people don't think about, because like for me, I was thinking, some of the guys who make good money in Kenya are influencers and content creators. They don't have a Sacco. They don't have insurance. So these companies need to start thinking about that. If we have an insurance company that can give medical cover for influencers and content creators, then we agree on a package that we can be paying. That can be a good thing. If we can have Saccos for influencers, that can also be a good thing.
Hapa kwa wasanii mambo yao iko namna gani? Because hauta hit kila siku.
So that's why I'm saying it's very important for us to have such things like medical covers. You can see so many artists when they get sick, they have to do a harambe. Yeah, because they don't have these medical covers and they don't have savings. Things like Saccos zinaweza saidia, because you know there's sometimes you get gigs, because companies operate in quarters, so sometimes you get gigs, unaweza get brands zimefuatana, alafu unachukua hiyo pesa yote, you go blow it, then now you have like 3-4 months where you don't have a brand,
you don't have a gig,
and then you see these guys start doing funny things online.
And unfortunately for the young generation like us who are into such kind of business, because it's again there's what we call the gig economy. You see, kama upate brands kama 3 zinakulipa 300 once, you start to delude yourself to think that it's going to be like that every day,
every month,
because as a MC and a moderator of events, unapata and you also do that, by the way, a bit of influencing here and there, and you showed me your red card na nini. Unapata quarter 1, for example, quarter 1 ukuwa dry, there are no events, guys are planning for quarter 2 ndo events ndo sasa huwa zinaanza. So you find for 3 months you are not on anyone's stage, you're not on anyone's event na vitu kama hizo, and you're wondering how am I going to survive this period. You delude yourself to think that December vile kulikuwa na a lot of endia parties, a lot of AGMs na weddings na vitu kama hizo, it's going to be like that all the time. So that's the importance of planning ahead and just putting out a Sacco just for influencers and saying, look, if we can have this product out and influencers can pay attention to it, then yes, that I think that would be really something really good. Good stuff. Sawa. Anything we are leaving out?
It's very important to tell people that we have some Saccos in quotes, like that are just there to scam people.
Thank you. We were getting there. What to look out for when you're joining a Sacco.
So very important, number 1, do a background check. Your Sacco imekuwa in business for how long, and if it's a new Sacco, do they have all the necessary permits? You can check on SASRA, Saccos and Societies Regulatory Authority. So that one, kama Sacco haiko kwa hiyo list, don't try and put your money in that
run
Sacco.
In the opposite direction.
And then just look at the history of that Sacco. Wanalipanga how much dividend, wanapeananga interest ya ngapi, because they pay different. What are their terms for loans, what are their terms ikikam kwa guarantors and all that, what are the penalties in case uchukue na ukose kunini. And when you take these loans, make sure you repay them on time. Because
discipline ni muhimu.
You can get cumulative penalties zikuleme, and now it will eat into your deposits. So I always advise people, make sure you repay your loans on time. And other things you need to look out for is accessibility of the Sacco. Because Sacco at least you can access easily, either physically or online. Like my Sacco, kuna website, kuna app, na kuna SSD. I can do almost everything kwa app. So kwenda kwa Sacco ni kama tu ile kitu inabidi uende personally, but I can go even the whole year without going to the Sacco physically, because I have the app.
Amazing. The other effect of not paying up your Sacco loans on time is that unafungia these other people wenye wamekuguarantee kutopata ama kutoguarantee watu wengine. Talk to us about that.
It's just respect people who guarantee you. Usichukue pesa umekuwa guaranteed alafu utaki kulipa. Now the guys who guaranteed you, na most likely it's your friends or family members or colleagues, sasa mnaanza kusumbuana. So it's just discipline and respect to the people who guarantee you. Ndio usiwalete shida sasa au anze kufuatwa juu ya pesa wewe ulitumia peke yako.
I've heard of stories of guys when today they're paying up quite heavily loans that some colleagues of theirs took na nini. So unakatwa na haunanga nini unakatwa na haikusaidii wewe mwenyewe, and this person maybe is even around the vicinity, is even around there seeing you and watching you na vitu kama hizo. Thank you so much. Yeah, man, that's quite a conversation right there. Any other thing we're leaving out? And by the way, yes, let's talk about SASRA for a moment. Just yesterday, on the 15th of August 2023, they released a new regulation that if there are any issues with the Sacco, they must be resolved within 21 days. So that also helps to keep the Saccos in check and to make sure that watu wako na ile discipline ambayo inastahili, so that and all of these things that SASRA is doing is also to be able to protect you as the depositor, and to also make sure that you are your money is taken care of. But kuna deposit taking Sacco and non-deposit taking Sacco. What's the difference?
It's just in the name.
Then kwa Sacco pia kuna na Bossa account na Fossa account.
Yeah, so Fossa ni front office account.
Yeah.
So that one is like current account.
Okay.
Bossa sasa ni back office for the deposits.
For the deposits.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
And we also have for Muslims.
Very important market. Yeah. Talk to us about that.
We have Saccos for Muslims
that are Sharia compliant.
We have like 3 very good ones. Yeah. So for Muslims, don't think that you're left behind. They can't join ours because you're interested.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but they have their own
arrangements.
Yeah. And they are also regulated by SASRA. Kenyans in diaspora, we also have Saccos in diaspora that are regulated by SASRA, recognized. Yeah. We have some in Dubai, in the Middle East.
Yeah.
We also have some in London and also in the US.
Yeah.
So hakuna excuse.
Yeah. And we're saying this so that because we've had stories of guys in abroad, mtu amepiga huko 10 years, and the way Kenyans really exert themselves and work so hard. Umesave pesa yako for long. Ulikuwa unatuma tu home, unaambia uncle yako ama your cousin to build for you a house, and I don't understand the obsession with houses. By the way, I honestly don't understand. Yes, it's good to have a house, but there are other things like government securities that you can put your money in the interim as you still are in abroad. And I'm glad this regime also came up with I think a dollar denominated bond that is going to sort now the people who are abroad. So yeah, the Saccos that you join if you're abroad also help you to protect your investment. So if you give the Sacco your money and tell them, hey guys, go and look for a house for me, or look for, let's say, land, you can be sure it's secure because wamefanya their due diligence. They know, they've checked the land registry, they have proper legal framework to address that. You have a comment on the same?
Yeah, no.
Okay, good stuff. Sawa. We're coming to the tail end of this conversation, and as I mentioned to you, we normally have a personal question we ask every guest who comes here.
Okay.
Ouya umeshikashika pesa hii town. We ni kijana, you are fortunate enough to be able to be productive for yourself, and you've made money. But as we know, money, just like with every other guest who comes here, all the experts, we don't want to portray them as perfect and people who've never made any financial mishap or met any financial mishap.
Yeah.
What is that one thing that you say, I wish I would have done better with my money? What is that bad money decision you made at some point?
Okay. The worst thing I've ever done when it comes to money is taking loans left, right, center. There's a time, you see, when Tala came and Branch and other apps started coming, so what used to happen ni best yako anakushow, bro, check hii app, wananipea 2k ati 2k aje hivyo tu. So to us it was free money. So you download the app, you register, you give them your details, you give them access to your contacts and all that. Alafu they give you the money straight to your M-Pesa.
Yeah.
So it was, unajua, it's ni zile vitu zinakam zinastua watu. So unaingia Tala wanakupea 2,000. Unaingia branch wanakupea 1,000. Unaingia ingine wanakupea punch.
3
hivyo. So alafu wanakuambia ukilipa tunakuongeza limit.
Oh my god, yeah.
So you pay inaongezeka, unachukua, you pay inaongezeka. So unapata like for me ilifika point I have like KCB like 13,000.
Okay.
I have Okash sijui 5k. I have hizi ma branch na Tala. I had so many of those loans.
So many of the loans.
Alafu so it reaches a point unachukua kwa hii app, you pay this one
and then they up your limit, you come back,
unachukua unalipa huku so hiyo pesa inazunguka kwa hizo and then you push your limits up. But it reaches a point because of the they have charges.
Yeah.
So ukichukua kama 2,000 you'll pay interest maybe 400.
Yeah.
So the more unachukua the higher the interest.
Yeah, the interest.
So it reaches a point the interest ni so expensive you can't manage. So what do? You start defaulting.
So yeah, masimu
simu si nitalipa and you're done because hawezi kukujia.
Yeah.
So it reached a point I had so many of those loans and I had to make the decision to stop because nilichukua hadi ya Sacco because my Sacco has such like products. Easily accessible loan ya simu and you can just take it kwa app. It's called Quick Cash. So that time it was kitambo. I had limit ya 15k.
Yeah.
Nikachukua na sikulipa cause hiyo tabia nilikuwa nayo that time. Sikuwa nalipa. So what I did is kumbe iko na penalty after 1 month when I didn't pay kulikuwa na penalty ya 400 every month and I didn't know. Na nikakaa na hiyo loan like 2 years. Nilienda kuclear hiyo loan ile pesa I paid like 3 times.
What?
Na bado walikuwa nakata bado kwa dividend.
I want to understand at this point when you're borrowing these loans, are you working, una hustle?
I was working. I didn't need them.
Yeah.
Ni ile tu ni kitu umepewa like it's access ni kama fuliza and I always advise people such things unless ni ile emergency kabisa because once you have that habit utalipata salo leo na unachukua bado unafuliza
una count fuliza ka net worth.
Yeah people count kama uko na 1,000 M-Pesa na fuliza yako ni 2k. Mtu akikuuliza kwa how much M-Pesa anamwambia 3k. So how did you get out? How did you finally get out? Very important because many people who I help with debt, most of my clients, shida kubwa inakuanga these loans. Because ukishamaliza hizo za simu, then unaingia Shailo, kunapeleka gas ama laptop, so it becomes very bad. So I always advise people first write down the loans you have. Ukishaziandika, then start with the lowest. Like for me, I had Tala was like 2k. So I paid pole because hiyo pesa ilikuwa inaniuma. So nikiget kaso 3 nalipa, nikiget so 2 nalipa hivyo hadi ikaisha. Then nikanipea moral. Nikaenda kwa branch nikalipa, ikanipea moral.
Wow.
Then I paid hivyo pole. Fuliza was still 500. They hadn't increased because my ratings zilikuwa chini that time. Because of hizi my mshwari. So I cleared Fuliza, nika opt out. I don't have Fuliza. Then nikalipa mshwari. Of course limit walikuwa merudisha 0. I don't have it. Yeah, so now I don't have those mobile loans.
So in short tunasema tu ni mindset. Mtu amue tu I'm going to live without Fuliza, I'm going to live without these things, without the mobile apps.
Yeah, so I use banks and Sacco.
Amazing. The best money decision you've ever made. Mashika pesa itaona ukaona this is some good windfall, I think I can do this with it. Alafu it paid off and you said well done Ouya, this is one decision I made and I'm proud of. Ni gani hiyo?
I can say okay, mtu anaweza ona ni kitu ndogo. But paying for events.
Wow.
I used to go that period when I was jobless. I used nikiget ka punch na nasikia there's a talk somewhere. I go, I pay for it.
You listening?
Yeah, I listen. I used to go to events. Hizi events sai naitwa to be a speaker. I used to be a very, very religious guest, attendant. Yeah, I used to attend events. Nikisikia Chandaria is speaking somewhere, I have to go. Nikisikia these prominent businesses guys have an event somewhere, I have to go and pay. So, and it paid off because it changed my mindset. Na nikaanza ku think different, and I can say you know something small, inaweza change life yako. Like just attending even an event, zingine ni free, and people don't attend. So productive events, I think paying for them, I can't regret. And even now, like kama kuna event productive like for finance or business, if I have time, I'll go. Even if it's 10,000, I'll pay. Nastasikia uchungu. Yeah.
Very well. Final words to the young people to invest in Saccos as we close.
So I want to advise people, it doesn't matter as long as you're breathing. Hata watoi wako wafungulie this savings account, this Saccos, weke do hapo akifika 18 waendelee. But for us, wenye let's say umemaliza campus and now you're wondering, mimi nitaingia nikiingia job. No, ingia hata campus. Hiyo pesa kidogo una get, weka kwa
chuna separate weke kwa
like my sister actually ndo aliniingiza kwa Sacco, and yana kwanga very disciplined in savings.
Your elder sister?
Yeah.
Okay.
She opened her savings account akiwa first year. By the time alikuwa namaliza campus, yendo alikuwa napea my uncles, my aunties loans. When someone wants so she saves, she's very disciplined. Na yendo alinifunza that if you can't manage 100 shillings, even if you're given $1 million, you can't manage it. So I want to tell people, kasa hii unaona kupeleka mtoi university, it's very expensive.
Man,
umeona hizo fees?
Ni public, bro.
Yeah, that's public. So like 300k per year. Ukiongeza hostels na nini inaingia ka 400. But if you have 4 million in the Sacco, hiyo ni dividend ya 1 year. Unasort mtoi wako na wewe bado uko na shughuli zako. You're still working.
Na ile bado ni seed, kumbuka.
Na the 4 million is still there.
It's still the seed.
Hii ni dividend tu umechukua ukasort mtoi for the whole year. And getting 4 million in the Sacco, sahi mtoi si anaingia akiwa 18. You have 18 years. Ka unaeka hata 3,000 per month. Alafu ukiget ka bonus, umepewa bonus ka ya 50k, unachukua ka 20k unarusha hapo. Sometimes unaenda unaduka deal na best yako, unaget ka 30k, unachukua ka 10k unarusha hapo. Unaenda trips job per DM, unachukua kiasi unarusha hapo. By the time mtoi wako anaingia hata high school, maze utakuwa na dofiti kwa Sacco, you can pay for their fees vizuri hata kawa naenda majuu. By the time you retire, ukiretire ka na 6 million kwa Sacco, your dividend will be kama 600,000.
600 G's,
You're getting like 50k per month. Then
bado if you stagger it, because 12 months,
50k per month na umeretire, na bado unalipwa pension.
Pension yako bado.
Na maybe umekaka biz. By that time, if you're that disciplined, by the time you retire, utakuwa umejenga place.
Utakuwa sawa.
You can even retire with, I've seen people retire even with 10 million in the Sacco, 15 million in the Sacco. Mtu anakula dividend ya 1.5. You're making like 100k per month. No umeretire. Umerelax kwa hao yako ulijenga. You have other investments. Uko na money market funds bado ziko. You have, yani una retire uko tu kwa maziwa. Grandchildren wanakuja tu kucheza kwako, wanajua hakuna njaa. But ukiretire na njaa, hata grandchildren.
Acha tukati hapo manze. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for painting that futuristic kind of view. And it's good for us young men to have these discussions with us, because as you say, ladies, like your sister is very disciplined with savings. Sisi wanaume ndo tunakuwa a bit reckless. We want to show off, nataka sherehe all the time. And sherehe is not bad, but make sure unajipanga kama mwanaume. So thank you so much, man, for coming on the podcast. We really appreciate, and definitely looking forward to having much more of your content. Where can people find you?
You can find me on all platforms. Llewellyn Ouya. Yeah.
Very nice. So, and to the consumer of this content, that's where we leave it. We hope you are going to open a Sacco account if you do not have one. But this topic iliombwa sana. This topic inauliziwa sana.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for finding time and giving us the value. Very well then. I hope you become more prudent with your money and perhaps grow wealth, which is the intention of FILIT podcast. Until the next episode, my name is Brian Jodutieno. Please stay prudent with your money.